Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a Sunday afternoon episode of Ted's Booze Cellar with me, your most gracious host, Ted. It is currently just about to turn 20 to 4, on the 25th of April 2021. Hope I'm finding you all in a good state of affairs, and if I'm not, then I hope things improve for you very promptly. Now, Sunday is usually a day of the week where everyone associates it with just being lazy and just sort of, chilling out and doing some self-care. I've got a lot of work coming up this week, including sort of moving. So, I feel like sort of doing a little bit of self-care and like treating myself today, to sort of like prepare mentally for that. So, today we're going to be taking a look at another drink by our good friends at Tiny Rebel. Now, you guys will remember last week we reviewed their canned, sort of slightly fizzy pina colada, which was a weird little number. But I was interested to try it, and then I saw in the wine barrel on Western Road in Hove for £3.29 Gin Sour by Tiny Rebel. This, I can imagine, is probably going to be a little bit better, I would say. I think like the fizziness of like a gin sour cocktail would probably work better in a can, to be honest. But again, I do like the design of the can. It's simple, it's slightly artsy, but it's not too messy, so I'll give it probably like a 9 out of 10, I think, yeah, for the design of the can. It looks handsome, but this is a 6.2% ABV citrus gin sour. We have one rule: never just make vanilla ice cream. Yeah, apart from the usual tagline, it just doesn't say anything about the drink on the back, apart from the ingredients and everything like that. But yeah, I mean, I haven't had as many gin sours in my time as I have had pina coladas. Now, we did try that gin sour vermouth cocktail drink from, who was it? Oh, Moth, a few weeks ago, which was awful. Any of my old-time viewers will know that's the first 0 out of 10 we ever had on Ted's Booze Cellar. But I'm interested, I'm hoping that this will just at least be a 2 out of 10 at the very least. Just not as quite as terrible at that, hopefully. But anyway, let's have a sniff and see what our first impressions are like. So, okay, mildly limey. Okay, so it's got a tiny bit of a bitter sort of scent. It doesn't sort of like the bitterness of like that gin after smell doesn't pop in. It just sort of like smoothly comes in at the end of the smell there. The undercurrent is of like this really nice smooth sort of kind of key lime pie sort of lime flavour. Yeah, and then this sort of like sour citrusy through line as well. Yeah, it smells pretty much exactly how I'd expect it to. And it's nice as well. It doesn't sting the nostrils too much. It doesn't linger for too long either. Yeah, smells exactly how I'd expect a gin and lime sour to sort of smell, really, honestly. So, yeah, I'll give it a 10 out of 10, actually, for the smell. It smells really pleasant. If I had, like, a bar of soap that smelled like this, I'd be really happy, because honestly, it's really, like, relaxing and, yeah, quite refreshing. Anyway, we'll have ourselves a quick palate cleanser of water before we taste it. And then, as always, on to the most important part of the video, which is to see what this tastes like. So, bottoms up, and to everyone else watching at home, I hope you have a fantastic week ahead. It's this weird sort of like gluey aftertaste that is bringing it down quite a bit, to be honest. Not massively, but for a start, it's definitely a lot better than that gin vermouth thing we got from Moth that I bought at Waitrose. It was much smaller, that one, and it was 70 pence more, and it was nowhere near as nice. However, I will say with successive sips, that gluey aftertaste does subside. I think it subsides after the first 3 or 4. Once your taste buds have become accustomed to this, it gets overcome by this tiny bit of like this ginny sort of like bitterness that really complements that citrusy flavour quite well. I could imagine that sort of like after flavour that I mentioned for the first 2 or 3 sips could possibly put someone off. But I would say keep going with this, because after the first 3, 4, maybe 5 or so sips, I think it does really come into its own. It kind of almost tastes like a sharp limeade with a slightly boozy undertone and a tiny bit of a ginny, sort of like bitter afterkick, but like very, very minor. Yeah, that's probably how I'd describe this, actually. It's like a boozy limeade, quite honestly. A boozy natural limeade. It's refreshing, it's light, it's not too sharp or harsh. It's got a tiny bit of undercurrent of sweetness to complement the citrusy sourness. Generally, it is a well-made drink. It's just that gluey aftertaste for the first few sips, I think, does really hold it back. Not by a massive amount, but definitely enough that I don't know if I could absolutely say this is an elite level drink. But for what it is still good, and I would be glad to go out of my way to get this again. So yeah, initially I was going to go for a 6 because that gluey aftertaste. Then after the first few sips, when that goes away, I was going to go for a 7. But then I realised it's a light, refreshing flavour that complements the texture, and the flavours that are present here all brew together really nicely. So I think I'd go for a 7.75. I think that's quite fair. I probably could possibly go for an 8 if I'm in the mood, but I think a 7.75 is fair. I think it is a nice drink. It just needs a bit of refining. The gluey aftertaste needs to be cut out. And there sort of needs to be, I think, a little bit more of a gin, sort of like bitter kick at the end. If you did all that and then sort of like revise the texture to feel a bit fuller, then I think you'd have a drink that could easily be between an 8 and an 8.5, I think. But generally speaking, I think a 7.75 is still really good. So yeah, very well done, Tiny Rebel. This is a nice one. But yeah, if you guys did like this video, leave a like, share and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for future episodes of Ted's Booze Cellar, let me know in the comments section down below. And if you want to check out anything else I do online, I'll leave the links to all of that in the video description down below. But until next time, have fun, stay safe with whatever you're doing, drink responsibly, know your limits, and I'll see you guys at the bar next time on Ted's Booze Cellar. Bye-bye for now.